What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne coming at you with another crazy video. But first, my goal is to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. And you already know, Reclaim Your Throne. Guys, we have a very interesting video for you today, and we are going to be breaking down a fat woman on TikTok who actually has some self-awareness and knows she's fat, but she's speaking about the dating world being a fat woman and basically her success or lack thereof on dating apps. So what we're gonna do is we're going to break down a series of videos that she posted. So let's get right into it.
I'm about to have a first date, and it's like a guy that I met online. I'm just gonna talk about something really fast just because I was talking to a skinny friend of mine, and I don't think it's ever happened to her.
Okay, so I do want to stop it there. This woman goes on a lot of first dates. This is the difference between being a fat man and a fat woman. Men are willing to smash fat women, and women are not willing to smash fat men unless they come with a bag. But men will smash a girl like this all day long.
Whenever I go on like a first date with somebody I've met online, I am so nervous. And I try so hard. I'll post at some point like what my photos are on my online profiles because I try so hard to make sure that they know I'm fat. I don't want it to be a question. I don't want it to...
So that's actually real. She posts pictures online to show people that, hey, she is an overweight woman. And, you know, she doesn't want to catfish anybody.
To be a surprise, I try really hard for them to know. I was talking to a friend about this, and she was like, oh my god, has somebody ever like said that? And like, I can think of a solid 2 to 3 times that someone has like gone and like showed up on the date and they say something along the lines of, wow, it's like, you look different than I thought you would. Or one guy that I slept with, and then messaged me afterwards and said, you know what, I think that you just look different than I thought in person.
So buddy smacked the cheeks and then basically ghosted her, let her off easy. Okay, like I said, men are willing to smash women that they're not readily attracted to, but it takes a lot more for a woman to do that with a man, and that man even be able to get on the first date
after we slept together. So anyway, every time I'm about to go for a date, I am terrified. So, can you tell that I'm fat? Can you? Because I'm trying really hard.
Yeah, we can tell. We can tell. She definitely needs to lose about 50 to 100 pounds. And she would have some potential. You know, her face is very symmetrical. She has things going for her, but you need to lose that weight, honey.
To not freak out about the fact that like he could show up and be disappointed about what I look like. I know it's said all the time, especially on this app, I guess it depends who you're following, but like dating as a fat woman is incredibly stressful, and it's also just difficult and hurtful 99% of the time. Anyway, we'll see how this goes. I don't know.
Okay, so she actually went on the date, and what we are going to do is break down the women in her comment section who continue to validate her and make her think that she's beautiful, even though that she's overweight, and she's admitted that she's overweight, and she's a little self-deprecating because she sees the results that she's getting in the dating market. But leave it up to other women to lie to her and keep her self-esteem high in order to, for some way, I guess, virtue signal and make it seem like they're good people, when in all actuality, if they were competing for the same man, she would call her ugly and fugly and all this type of stuff.
I'll respond to more comments tomorrow, but guys, it went really well. I also didn't go home with him, so like, is this growth?
So she says that she didn't go home with the guy that she went on a date with. Is this growth? You see, the thing about fat women is that they oftentimes, especially if they kind of have a cute face like she does, they oftentimes have a really high body count because they're seeking male attention and male validation, because most men are not going to cuff a fat woman, but he'll smash her, but he's not going to cuff her.
Is she growing or is she on her period? You'll never know. I'll respond to more comments tomorrow.
Okay, so she says, is she growing or is she on her period? Meaning, did she make the conscious decision not to sleep with that guy even though the date went well on the first date? Or was it because she's on her period? And a lot of women try and act like they've never had a one-night stand. They've never smashed on the first date. And that's a load of BS. A lot of them are going on these dates. If they feel in the vibe of that guy, they're going home with him.
All right, drum roll, please. Okay, so I'm going to look at my Hinge because that's where I met this guy that I
Okay, so she's breaking down her Hinge profile, so pay attention, guys.
was going on the date from. This is my first picture. Pretty cute, you know, she's a cutie. It does show that I have like pretty big arms. I feel like you can see that I've kind of got a little bit of a belly.
Yeah.
Classic. You can see that I've got low rolls.
So you can see that she has rolls, definitely. But in these pictures, it would make it seem like she's more thick than fat. I think that it would make it seem like she's a lot more thick than fat, even though the lines between thick and fat are blurred nowadays. But in the pictures that she's showing, it could be a little deceptive where guys maybe thought she had more ass than she had stomach.
Rolls, you can see I've got a belly. I don't feel like it's hiding anything. This one's like, wow, she's cute and funny. Amazing.
That's not funny at all.
I mean, do I have to say why? Come
Okay, so she's showing the ass, and it looks like she kind of has ass, but it's really just fat.
on. Okay, this one right here has a friend in it who did not consent to be in this video, so I'm not going to show her face. But you can see that I've got like a belly and a butt and legs and things like that. This one down here, you can't really see, but on the bottom, you can see like the bottom of my tummy, like, you know. So I feel like for the most part, you can like see my whole body. But like my Tinder is different because I do put more revealing photos, like not revealing, but like more.
Yeah, so the Tinder, she's ready to risk it all. She's ready to bust it wide open.
Of what's working with, because Tinder's different and we all know why. So I like to be.
Yeah, Tinder is strictly hookup. Hinge is more for a relationship or friendship.
Even more upfront. So I could do that one too if you guys wanted. Let me know. Okay, I've had some comments that are very similar to this.
Okay, so some woman, no face, no avatar woman says, calling yourself fat when you're literally not is so frustrating to actual fat people. Look at her cheeks. She's fat. And we need to start calling more women who are overweight fat so that everybody can understand what fat actually is and then make the adjustment to get in shape.
And I am going to talk about it for a sec. I think first things first is I would just like to acknowledge that like my body looks different than somebody else's body. And that's just what it is. My 235, sometimes bouncing 240.
God damn. I mean, I was gonna guess her weight, but I didn't think she was 230, 240. She must be a little taller. But she is the size of a running back, okay? What did Kevin Samuels say? She could hit the A-gap like a motherfucker, okay?
Doesn't look the same on me that it would look on somebody who is, I don't know, 5'9" or 6 foot. They might be considered not even plus size, maybe even mid-size. If I'm being completely honest, I don't really know what mid-size means. I think that's a newer term. When I was younger, I was aware that like mid-size was like sizes 4 to like 10. Because back then, I'm talking like mid-2000s, early 2010s, 0 to 3 was what was considered normal. I think it's also important to remember that like you living your life in a certain location is very different than somebody else living their life in a certain location.
What is she talking about? All of this, all these different factors. If you're fat, you're fat. She's fat, and then the person commenting was probably even fatter. So she's like, it's an insult to call yourself fat when I'm super duper fat. Like like for me, I'm 5'8", 5'9" on a good day, right? And I would consider myself, okay, I'm a short king. But then a guy who's 5'3" would be like, that's an insult to me because I'm shorter than you. And it's, in all actuality, we're all short because we're not 6 feet. But you see that the guy who is shorter is going to feel insulted because he wished that he had 5 more inches. So I get where the comparison is coming from, but at the same time, it is what it is. You were given the cards that you're dealt. The only thing about being fat is that you can change your circumstances. Your height, you cannot change.
Location. I've said this before. I'm an Oregon 6. I would be like an Atlanta 9. And I know that.
No, 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 no. Do not disrespect my city like that. You are not touching a... Do you know how many beautiful women we have in Atlanta? In shape, go to the gym 5 days a week, and you think you're an Atlanta 9? Do not ever disrespect my city like that. You're a 4. If you lost weight, you could probably be, depending on the body composition and how it looks afterwards, you could work yourself up to a 6 and a 7. I'll give her that. She's got a lot of potential in her face, but the body is lacking.
And yes, I am boosting myself up. You should all boost yourselves up, ladies. But I'm aware that location plays a big part. And I grew up in a very white place surrounded by very white people who have very different bodies than I do. My entire life, I've been considered fat. I cannot think of a time literally ever when I wasn't considered fat because I've always been bigger than the people around me. Always. Now stores carry like extra large, double XL, which yes, I know is not inclusive yet. And I'm not trying to say that it is inclusive because I know that I am privileged enough that I have those sizes. But before, when everything just went to a large, I couldn't shop anywhere. I was considered extremely fat because of that. And I'm not saying that like, oh, poor me, like everything's terrible. I mean, it wasn't great, but I'm also well aware that some people had it a lot worse. And I think that where my location was, I don't think I saw that very much, but I did whenever I left the location that I'm at, if that makes sense. But anyway, I'm just here to remind you that all
Okay, yeah, she's definitely fat.
bodies look different in clothes. You guys have seen me from like here up for the most part. And if not, I'm wearing jeans. This is what my body looks like. I have pretty big legs. I've got a big butt.
Okay, so obviously, a lot of niggas would say that her ass is a redeeming factor. For me, I'm not going, but you know, it is what it is.
That's for sure, but I've got rolls, I've got cellulite. I've got cellulite on my stomach.
Like I said, I mean, she has to lose the stomach and the fupa and the fat around the neck, arms. It's a lot. She got a lot of work to do.
I've got cellulite on my arms. This is what my body looks like when I'm not sucking in. This is what it looks like when I am. Angles, dude. Myself and most men, if not, I would say a majority that I've, encountered in this world, consider me fat.
Yes.
But usually the people that say, oh, you're not fat, are usually people who are skinnier than me that are trying to make me feel better.
Yes, absolutely. I'm glad. I mean, I like this girl because she's self-aware.
You don't know what it's like in my body, and I don't know what it's like in your body. So let's not pretend that we do, okay?
What I will say is, because she's so self-aware, if she lost the weight, she would probably make a good girlfriend because she's been humbled and she's down to earth, as opposed to a lot of these women who think they're the ish and all this type of stuff when they have no redeeming factors other than their looks.
Okay, I'm very hungover, but I'm going to attempt to answer this quickly-ish. First things.
So she's about to answer a question about what her standards look like and what she looks like in a man. So the guy asks, what exactly are your high standards that your friends question you about? No shade. I'm just curious from a male perspective, trying to be better.
First, I just want to say that, I did not make that post at all to shame any of my friends in their relationships, because I do think they're all valid and full of love, and they're great relationships. They might just tolerate some things or have tolerated some things that I might not, and that's okay. But when we're talking about standards, I don't think it's necessarily what people are thinking of, oh, do you check this box, this box, this box, and this box? Because that's not the case.
I think for me, it's like, and I've seen a couple comments like this, where I very much live by the rule, if you are not improving my life, then I don't need it. Meaning if I'm spending more time feeling frustrated with you and just about your lack of effort or communication or whatever it is, more often than I feel like loved and happy, then I'm not gonna need it. I think that often people will put up with things a lot longer than I would
I mean, let's keep it a buck. She has physical standards that are high. She just doesn't want to be honest about them because she doesn't match up to the standards. I guarantee all these guys she's going on these Hinge and Tinder dates with are Chads.
Just because of the fear of being alone, which is not at all to shame any of those people. That's just, it happens. I think the big things are just like, I want open communication and I want to feel appreciated and have an equal amount of respect, but those aren't things that I feel like are outrageous. I think my tolerance for bullshit is lower, so it seems like a higher standard, if I'm being completely honest. Call them standards, call them boundaries, whatever you want to call them. Basically, it's just like my line of where I draw it of like, are you worth it or are you not, is probably a little shorter than some people's. And that's okay. I know what I'm worth and what I deserve, and frankly, I'm not in the interest of teaching someone how to be in a relationship or how to have open communication. Like, I don't need it. So again, if you're not gonna improve my life, then I don't need you. Somebody might vote. Okay.
All right, guys, so we have another person in the comments section validating her and saying, girl, you're not fat, you're gorgeous. So I want you guys to see how she responds to this.
Okay, first, I would just like to say everybody in the comments has been so nice. So thank you so much. And I am not at all trying to hate on this person. I just keep seeing very similar comments. First, I am fat. It's there. See my pinned TikTok, and that way I don't need to get into that. But I think that using a narrative of like, you're not fat, you're gorgeous, or whatever, like you're not this, you're that, it can start this idea that you can't be both. Sweetie.
Yeah, I think it's very dangerous to keep lying to these women and telling them they're not fat when they actually are.
Honey, baby, I am both. I'm both. But again, no, for real, like, thank you, everybody's.
Okay, so she said you can be gorgeous and fat at the same time. No, I don't agree. She has a symmetrical face, and she needs to lose weight in order for it to be considered a pretty, beautiful face.
Everybody's being very nice, and I appreciate you all. But yeah, just know that sometimes when you put two things together, it makes it sound like you can't be both. And there are gorgeous, lovely human beings that are also fat. And you
no.
might not think so, but the world told me I am, so here we are.
And for this final video, guys, just more affirmation from her own mouth, confirming that she does know her physical status and sexual marketplace value. The biggest issue with a lot of fat women is that they have very high body counts because they continually seek the validation of men. So let's watch.
Hi everyone, I am in a mood today. You ever just look at yourself in the mirror, in this camera, in everything, and you're like, wow, I really look like that. And not always in the best way. Nope. But you know what, ladies? With an ass this fat and a face this cute.
And she thinks that her ass is going to save her. The delusion is crazy.
We don't have time to be that sad.
So anyways, guys, I hope you liked that video. This just goes to show that a lot of these women are absolutely cuckoo, okay? But she was a little realistic as well. So that is a good sign. My only thing is, you know you have an issue, you know you got a problem. Now it's time to work the weight off. So anyways, you already know what it is, man. It's your boy, Reclaim Your Throne. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Send your relationship question to the email down below with a screenshot of your Cash App so I know you pay your tithes, man. Y'all need to be on your motherfucking team with the BS. And you already know, Reclaim Your Throne. Reclaim your throne.